Hey guys, welcome to Science Ki Dunya. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you may get further notification of the topic we study. And also, don't forget to share this video with your friends. We'll be studying chapter 6, Substances in Daily Use. In this chapter, we will study about the objects which we use in our day-to-day life and that object are made up of which substances, and we will see all the substances in detail. So starting with substances and objects, all the substances are made up of very small particles and all these substances are used to make objects. Now objects have a specific shape. They have a particular shape, okay? And their parts have specific arrangement from which we can identify them, okay? For example, our blackboard is in rectangular shape. The ball by which we play is circular in shape. The ice cream cone is conical in shape. So each object have a particular shape, okay? Also remember one thing, substances require strength so that we can make the articles out of it. Now one same substance or material can be used to make many other objects also. Let us study some more examples. First example we will take as cotton. It is used to make cloth fiber or cloth thread. It is also used to make pillows. It is used to make saris. Cotton is used to make handkerchiefs. It is also used to make quilts. It is also used to make mattresses. Okay. So from cotton, that is one substance or one material, we can make so many things. So our next example we will take as iron. Iron is used to make construction bars. It is also used in electric poles. Iron is also used to make griddles of the pans. Iron is used to make tables. It is also used to make parts of the automobiles. And iron is also used to make cupboards. Our next example is aluminium. Where do we use aluminium? We use aluminium to make kitchen utensils, and aluminium is also used to make electric cables. So it is very much necessary to study the properties of substances so that we can use it and select it appropriately in our day-to-day life or any purposes. So it is must to know the properties of substances. The substances we use in our day-to-day life can be of two main kinds, which are natural substances and man-made substances. So what are the natural substances? Substances which are available in nature are called natural substances. Example of natural substances are cotton, wool, wood, rock, sand, petroleum. All these things we get from nature, right? So all of these are called as natural substances. So these natural substances are further divided into biotic substances and abiotic substances. What are they? Let's see. Substances obtained from living things are called biotic substances. Okay. And substances which are not obtained from living things are called abiotic substances. For example, air, soil, water. These are not obtained from living things, right? So all of these are abiotic substances. They are natural, but they are abiotic substances. Biotic substances are further divided into plant origin and animal origin. We will study it further. So now try to identify biotic substances and abiotic substances from the figure. So first one is sand. It is abiotic substance. Stone. It is abiotic substance. Water. It is abiotic substance. Mine. It is abiotic substance. Seashell. It is biotic substance. Mushroom. It is biotic substance. Tree. It is biotic substance. Leaf. It is biotic substance. Grass, flowers, bush, plant. All of these are living things, so they are biotic substance. Wave is abiotic substance. Soil is abiotic substance, and sky is abiotic substance. Okay, have you got it? What are plant origin biotic substances? So jute and cotton are the substances which we obtain from plants. So they are plant origin. We are originating it from the plant, right? So you can see in the figure jute and cotton. So what are they? They are plant origin. And what are the animal origin? So we are taking it from animal. So leather and wool are obtained from animals. See the diagrams. See the figures. You can see it. Leather and wools are obtained from animal. And jute and cotton are obtained from plant origin. So these are plant origin and animal origin biotic substances. So did you know silk is a natural thread or fiber obtained from the cocoons of silkworms, right? From one cocoon, 500 meters to 1300 meters of thread can be obtained. Imagine. It is said that silk was first produced on a large scale in China. So our next topic is man-made substances. So it is the human nature to search for new things and to try to make our life more and more comfortable. So as a result of this, man does efforts, and he not only learned to use natural resources but also began to process them to make new substances. So several such substances are easier to use and we can make it plenty. So such substances are easier to use in our day-to-day life and we can make it more and more amount. Okay, we can make it in plenty amount and we can make it in a low cost also. So therefore these substances come to be used on a large scale. There are a great many such man-made substances that we use today. So how can we define the man-made substances? We can define it as new substances produced from the processing naturally available substance. These are called as man-made substances. Okay, examples of man-made resources are concrete, glass, nylon, paper, synthetic rubber, steel, plastic, rayon, polyesters, all of this. See this image, you will get to know from which material, from which substance is the object made up of. So tires are made up of rubber, dining table which we use is made up of wood, spoon is made up of metal, clay pots are made up of sand, and the statues are made up of copper. So from all these natural substances, means man produced all of these objects. Nowadays you can see the raincoat, school bag, your book covers, all of these are made up of plastic, right? These are also the man-made substances. You must have watched that to pack TV sets, refrigerators, big cartoons and thermocols have been used. All these are made by man. So they are man-made substances. These substances are waterproof, water resistant, lightweight, easy to transport. That is why they are being used increasingly. So let's see how the production of substances take place. First we will about rubber. So there are two types of rubber, natural rubber and artificial rubber. Let's see how the production takes place. Natural rubber is obtained from the gum or sap of the trees. As you can see in the image, the sap is called latex. Okay, rubber has an odor and it is white in color. So how does the vulcanization of rubber takes place? So see in the figure. In this process, rubber is been heated. First what is done? Rubber is been heated. With what? With sulfur. See, you can see there is written 3 to 5% of sulfur. So rubber is been heated with what? With sulfur. For how much time? For 3 to 4 hours. For 3 to 4 hours at 100 to 150 degrees Celsius. Okay. To give the hardness to the rubber, sulfur is mixed. So why the sulfur is mixed? It is used to make, as you can see, the rubber is soft, right? On the left hand side. So to give it hardness, sulfur has been added. So how much proportion of sulfur we will take in the mixture is determined by the purpose for what? Is determined by the purpose for which the rubber will be used. If we use the rubber to make erasers, so the proportion will be different. If we use the rubber to make tires, the proportion will be different. So this way the proportion matters. So erasers, rubber balls, rubber toys all have different amount of proportion of sulfur in them. Okay. In the rubber band, the proportion of sulfur is very less. Remember, gloves are made, rubber band are made, eraser, gum boots, balloons, all are made out of what? Out of rubber. So next man-made substances is paper. So let's see how the paper is made. So firstly, it is used from grass, wood or rags, that is waste of paper. So basically, paper is a substance or material which is formed due to the intertwining of cellular fibers. There are cellular fibers in grass, right? And from the wood, rags or waste paper. Thus paper is a kind of network of cellulose fibers. What is paper? It is a kind of network of cellulose fibers. There are fibers which are intertwined and from which the paper is made. Now we will see how is paper made. So coniferous trees like pine are used to make paper. The bark of logs of these trees is first removed, okay, and the wood is broken into small pieces. The mixture of these pieces and some chemical is kept soaking for a long time. We add chemicals and it is kept for a long time. It helps to form pulp. What does it form? Pulp. After the completion of these chemical processes, the fibrous substance from wood pulp are separated and the colors, which are dyes, are also added to it. After that, the pulp is then passed through rollers, which is then dried to form paper and finally wound on reels. So paper and wood are very closely related. To save trees, it is very much important for you people to use the paper sparingly. I would like to give you one tip. So don't throw away your old notebook with blank pages. Remove it, bind it and use it for purpose. Use completely and then only throw your notebook. Next substance is synthetic fiber or threads. So first it was thought that artificial yarn can be made clothing materials. There are lots of research done in this field. So innumerable kinds of synthetic or artificial threads are now available like nylon, Dacron, terylene, terene, polyester, rayon. These are the names of various synthetic threads or synthetic materials from which nowadays clothes are made. Olden days, almost all articles were made from the natural fibers, but nowadays, nylon, rayon, terylene, acrylic are all the synthetic threads which are used in day to day life. Let's see all of this in detail. First one is nylon. Where was it invented? It was invented in New York and London. Therefore, the initials NY of New York and LON from London were combined to name them NYLON, that is nylon. Nylon threads have a shine and are very strong. They are transparent and water resistant too. They are used to manufacture many clothes, fishing nets, ropes, etc. From these solutions with the help of what? With the help of machines. As these threads have shine and strength, they are said to be a synthetic silk. Okay. They appeared to be shining bright like sun rays, hence they were named as rayon. Next material is Dacron, terylene and terene. So various hydrocarbons. What is hydrocarbons now? Hydrocarbons are the substances which are obtained from the mineral wells. This is used to make polymer chains. What are polymer chains? Polymer chains are long continuous chains which are formed from small chemical units which are interlinked to each other. Okay. So these various hydrocarbons are obtained from what? Mineral oils and are used to make polymer chains. A solution of such polymer is pressed through a strainer with fine holes. The fibers which are formed after cooling. It is what done? What it is done? Cooling is done. After which we get the fibers. How are the fibers now? The fibers are long and unbroken threads. Hence it is used to make many materials. These threads are twisted to obtain yarn. Okay, so different types of chemicals are used to make threads of various properties. These different threads have been named as Dacron, terylene and terene. So let's quickly revise what we have studied today. So we use two types of materials, natural and man-made. Natural materials may be biotic or abiotic. Biotic materials are either of plants or of animal origin. Rubber, paper, synthetic fibers, all of these are what? It is man-made materials which we use in our day-to-day life. And man-made materials are obtained by using certain processes which we studied, how the paper is made, how the rubber is made, how the synthetic fibers are made. So this is all for today. Thank you.